Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Friday, July 8. And okay, starting with Bitcoin, let's talk Bitcoin. So we can look at it. I just want to look at the variety of things that can occur and how we can go about handling those situations. So first of all, with wave 1 up here, an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4 over to this side, and 5 down here for wave C of 2, and that's the low in place. That's one way to look at it. Now, to confirm that, what we would need to do is and we'll have a look at this, we would need to see 5 waves, which is going to take us pretty much up here somewhere, right? So once we've got those 5 waves there, anything above that, because you'd get a pull after 5 waves, you'd get an ABC pullback anyway. But anything above that top there, or above the B wave there, then we can look to be long at that point. Well, it will tell us that we'll be looking at being bullish at that point. So this 5 wave structure here, we need to move past that. Okay, so that's the key to confirming further upside, to remove the guessing game from it, so to speak. Now, the second thing is that first of all, we can have a low in here, but we need 5 waves up here, which we're going to have a look at. We'll need to move above those 5 waves to confirm a bullish move. Secondly, if we move this wave 4 over to here, like we have been doing, then we can look at an extra move down here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now, in that regard, the 38.2% retracement level from that top to, let's open that, from that top down to the bottom here is roughly, let's better do it, slightly above there, but we can shapen that up. That's slightly below, it probably evens up at that point. That one there, and not that it's a perfect world, but unfortunately, I wonder what it'll be like in another 50,000 years. So that's the 38.2% retracement level here. Okay, so, and this would also be like a wave 4 of 1 lesser degree over here. So it's possible for the markets to move up to, where is that? That's at 23,100. So I'll just leave it there for the time being. It's just roughly anyway. I think it's going to go higher than that, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. So it's also possible that we could go to this level and move down from that point, okay, based on this 1 and 2. Now, I don't think this is the case because when we looked at the when we looked at the futures market yesterday, we could see that the futures market had this here as the low, and that made it nice as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the. I won't look at it now, but we did it yesterday, so we can look at that as wave 5. So it's possible that we've got some sort of low in at that point. Now, the other point that we need to look at as well, and also 5 waves past that would take us in. So the other point too is that if we look at this move down here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then down for wave 3 here, then the 38.2% retracement level for this leg here from that top, roughly speaking, to this one brings us back up into this space. Now, I don't know if we've got enough legs in the game at this point to, that's at 50%, that top there, and 38.2. So I just normally grab the top of that, and wherever the 38.2, but normally pretty close anyway. I don't know, we probably, in this leg, in this current move up here, we probably don't have enough to get us up to this space up here, but we've probably got enough wave count in here to get us to this point. So I don't know if we need to drop this down here or keep that there and look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to the upside. Like I said, anything above any of this 5 wave business here, and then we'll be pushing up, but we could still end up at wave 4 up here for that. So it's not it's not over until the big lady sings. You know, this level here is where all the supply is, and that's where it's going to take a beating. But we should have some understanding if the market does move up to that point. We should have a pretty good understanding of what this particular pattern is at that point. You know, is it 3 waves or 5 waves? What does it look like? So we will understand at that point. You know, all the wave 4s have been pretty much the same. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. So just to recap a few things here, what we looked at, because it's important to put all the counts on the table and then just have a, you know, and eliminate them one by one. That's all. And then we know where we are. We can also do things in the short term, like we could trade long now if we wanted to. So so we can, you know, we can cherry pick certain wave structures in certain degrees of wave structures rather. But in the bigger picture, there can be a couple of counts. So yeah, just bear that in mind. And one of them is the A, B, and C wave with the low already in place here. We would need to get some confirmation, as I've sort of mentioned before, from some of the tech stocks. So this is Apple here, just in all fairness. So we've got 5 waves moving up here, the same as Bitcoin, and we've got to go higher up here. But we can have wave 4 up here, and then we can roll over from that point. Anything above that 5 wave structure here, and then we can be bullish at that point. And obviously this here is, you know, is a bit of a line in the sand. I mean, the fact that it's coming back and testing it tells me it's kind of bullish, because we can get a count where we can put wave 5 down here. It's not such a big deal. We can call a low in here, but we need to move past a 3 wave structure here, because the tech stocks will be doing the same thing as Bitcoin. They're all kind of, unfortunately, in the same boat for the time being. And yeah, so we can have a low in, we can have a little wave 4 coming up to between here and coming back up to these previous lows here, but I think we're going to get something going up to the closer to the 25. So there's, even if we are bullish here, there's a couple of steps that we need to go past. We need to get past the next 5 wave structure to call it into a higher space. So let's go to the intraday on 100 ticks, and we'll just look at that whole section here. So this will be the bullish count at this point. So we've got that all tied up there as the low. But I don't take that as gospel. You know what I mean? It's just not the done thing. We're still trying to build a case here, but when we looked at this yesterday, we were looking at, or over the last couple of days, we looked at, as the bullish count, we looked at it as 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 here. And then, so it's really the third of the third of the third. And then we can also label, bear with me a second, we can label a little wave 1 in here and a wave 2 in here for that. And then we'd probably put a wave 3 up here somewhere, and a wave 4 in here, and then a wave 5 up here for that one. And then we'd have wave 3 there, and then we've got to come back for wave 4 here somewhere, and then wave 5 up here will give us a classic trading levels pattern across the top of group 1 of 20,000 of major trading level 2. So that means that this here will be in some sort of ABC sort of pattern here. And then this here, the length of this here, it may take us up there, but it may not at that point, because normally wave 3s hit the top there. Normally, see how this wave 3 is the top of this one, and this will also be, hopefully that will go up there. But the thing is that this length and the length of this wave 1 here, this wave 1 here, will be roughly the same. So it depends on how far this pulls back. If all these little wave 4s here rock up on the same sort of level here around that 22,000 area there, that might be further up here, and then that might make it a bit easier for that. That might just come a little way down here. Do you know what I mean? Like halfway down to somewhere in there. What's that? 22, yeah, about there. So that could be to there, and then we could just about reached there with that, and that would be normal to see this wave 3 at this level, and then there'll be an ABC for wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here. So this wave 5 becomes interesting because this is where, after, let's just assume that comes back here, and then we get some move up here for this, and so it's anything above that top there that would take us to the next level. Anything above this one, because that would be our 5-wave structure at that point. And, you know, we could label this in the bigger picture any way we wanted to. We could label this an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. We could label it 1, 2, and 3 up here, and then coming back for 4 and going up for 5. We could label it wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So there's a whole thing, there's a whole range of things that we can do. But the important thing is once we've got 5 waves here, and we'll compare this to Ethereum and some others, but once that's sort of the general gist of things, and also in the tech stocks as well, with Apple and those other, you know, other Microsoft and yada yada yada. If once we get a consensus of that 5-wave structure here, then anything above that, then we're good to go at that point. And then we'll be looking, if this is a 5-wave structure here and we're taking this top out, well, then we can look at 30,000 at that point. Because the reason I say that is because this would be 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 at minimum. So that would take us up to there. Or we could look at it as an A, B, and C wave here, but as an ABC for the wave 4, we'd want to be further up here for that bigger wave 4. And then secondly, let's just get a bit more over here. I don't know what I've done over here. See, because the other wave 4 that we talked about was over here somewhere. So you can see the situation here. That that's right, Minky. Yes, buddy. To be at this wave 4, we're going to be past that, you know. So that one's not valid at that point, and this other one here coming back to this wave 4 with this wave 4 here, we're still a way off that, you know. The 38.2% is just under the level here, so we're too short on that as well. So it would probably be that we could be an ABC for the A wave, an ABC for the B wave here, and then up for the C wave or something like that, if it was going to be corrective at that point. So there's a variety of things that could occur there, but, you know, we'll find out with the tech stocks, because above here on the tech stocks, that puts us in a bullish pattern at that point, and we talked about that today with indices and so on. So we're trying to establish, do we have a bull market, or do we just have a corrective rally, and when do you act, or when can you do things, you know? Well, you know, you can go long in all of this. You can go long up to here. What you see here is not what you get next, though. You always get the opposite of what you're looking at. So if you're looking at a trend, then you're going to get a correction. If you're looking at a correction, then you're going to get a trend. So yeah, it's not like the real world. You don't get what you're looking at. It's a bit subjective, but there you go. So, you know, you can find yourself going long in here somewhere, because this structure here is just not finished, you know. So I think this is a good chance for hodlers to move into the market. So wobble and hodl and dawdle your way in here. This would be a good time to not overdo it, but, you know, you'd be happy if you got something at this point, you know, but also happy enough that if the market dropped down to 10,000, you won't be, you know, you won't be crying at that point either. You know, you need to man up. Alrighty. Yeah, I think the only other thing we could do here, which we're doing on tech stocks, is just to square this up. I mean, a lot of folks don't like trend lines, and I know that they're kind of useless, but they kind of square things up a little bit. So that means that in this area here, all these 3 falls and that we've got here will play out at the 23, which is the top of minor group 1, and we've got all the 4s there, and we've got the trend channel there. So it's, if you buy here, don't expect too much in this space here. This will be probably the weekend stuff in here, you know. I could be wrong, and it could scoot along a bit further, but the most powerful point in the trend is right in that horizontal line there. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.